Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Call of the Wild. I'm Paul Grua from WeberStateSports.com. This week, we're at the D Event Center, the home of Weber State men's and women's basketball teams, and the seasons begin this Friday. The Wildcat men's and women's teams with a doubleheader. Weber State women hosting Bethesda at 4:30, and the Wildcat men's team takes on Utah State at 7 o'clock right here at the D Event Center. Well, it's been a big week again in Weber State athletics. Last weekend, the Weber State football team picked up a 23-3 win over UC Davis. Wildcats led by Trayshawn Garrett. The freshman running back had 152 yards and 2 touchdowns in leading the Cats to the win. It's a bye week this week for Weber State. Next week, finishes out the season against Idaho State, 1 o'clock at Stewart Stadium. Wildcat volleyball team is home this weekend for their final 2 matches of the year, taking on Montana State and Idaho State Thursday and Saturday at the Swenson Gym. Wildcat soccer team finished their season last week with a loss in the Big Sky tournament to Montana. And how about the Weber State cross-country team? The Wildcat women's and men's teams heading to Albuquerque, New Mexico this Friday for the NCAA Mountain Regional Championships. Wildcat women's team ranked 25th in the nation and on the verge of getting a berth into the NCAA Championships. When we come back, we'll talk to Weber State men's basketball head coach Randy Rahe as he prepares to enter the season for the Wildcats against Utah State on Friday night. Welcome back to the Call of the Wild. We're joined now by Weber State head coach Randy Rahe, the head coach of the Wildcat men's basketball team. Randy, the Wildcats begin the season this week against Utah State. It's your 10th year at Weber State. Can you believe that you've been here 10 years?
I really can't. It's gone by so fast. And, my wife and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago, and it's amazing. I remember the first day when I walked in and getting to work and trying to build the program and everything. But now you look back on it, and it's been a wonderful 10 years. I've been blessed. I've got a wonderful staff and have, during my tenure here. And I've had great, just fantastic kids to coach, and it's been wild. I'm getting older, obviously, but it's been a fun 10 years, and hopefully we can continue and keep it going for a little longer.
You've had 4 Big Sky titles, all kinds of things we could go through on the things you've accomplished. You talk a lot about the character of your team and the program and a certain type of program that you have and that you've built here at Weber State. Can you elaborate on that and what kind of things you look for in players and what your program really means?
Well, when I first got here, I wanted to build a program based on character, relationships with everybody, and then tried to recruit to that. We also try to base our recruitment on, not only character and integrity, but also kids that are very competitive, kids that are team-oriented, selfless kids that just want to be here for Weber State. And for the most part, I think we've been able to recruit those kind of kids. But that's kind of what we've always wanted our foundation and our culture to be here, based on that. And when I first got here, I also wanted to have it all. I wanted to have kids that the community and the university could be proud of. I wanted to graduate every one of our kids. We're going to be NCAA compliant, stay within the rules, and still win. And you look around, and sometimes that's not always the case. And we wanted to try to build that here, and we've tried to work very hard in each and every one of those areas to be that's what our program is about. And hopefully we've accomplished that. We've worked hard at it, and we continue to work hard at it every single day to have a program where everybody can be proud of the fact that we're successful and the kind of kids and the kind of program that we run.
This year's team we'll talk about a little bit. We'll start off with you got 5 players returning from last year. 2 of them we'll talk a little bit our preseason all-conference players, Joel Ballenboy and Jeremy Sengel. We can talk about each of those 2 players and the progress that they've made their last few years here at Weber State.
Well, I think both of them really gotten better, and it's a tribute to them and their work ethic. Both of them are highly motivated to be really good and to be the best they can be, so they spend hours upon hours in the gym working out, doing the extra things you need to work on. But I've seen the improvement in both of them, in Joel especially. When we first got Joel, he was 6'8" and 200 pounds. And to be honest with you, didn't have a great feel for how to play the game, and his skill level wasn't very good. And he could always rebound. He was always athletic. So each year we've seen him make a jump. His skill level has improved tremendously. He can shoot the ball now from the perimeter. He's honed his low post game more. He's actually become a good passer. And so his whole feel and skill level has gotten better, and it's been fun to watch him. And then also he grew an inch, and he's 6'9", 232 pounds now. So he's done the work, and not only on the court but in the weight room, and not just that. He's a wonderful person, just a pure-hearted, innocent, great kid, and I think because of that character, it's allowed him to grow as a basketball player as well. And the same with Jeremy. We got Jeremy. He was, he started from day one and had the skill level and everything, but he's improved his. I think the thing he's improved the most is maybe his defensive abilities and really paying attention to that. But he's now a versatile guard. He can play the one. He can play the two. He can score when he needs to score. He can distribute when he needs to distribute. And so that part of his game has really gotten better too.
Now you also have, of course, Rashad Gittens and Kendall Hill and Ryan Richardson back from last year. And you bring in a whole bunch of new players, and a lot of talented players that will see some significant minutes. Talk about some of the new players coming in this year.
Well, first of all, I want to just mention about Rashad and Kendall. They were starters in our program last year, and right now we'll see if it lasts, but we're going to bring them off the bench. And you talk about being selfless and caring about your team more than yourself. Those kids were tremendous when we talked about doing it, so I'm excited about what they could become and do for us in that role, and they're accepting that role and embracing it, which is really, like I said, it's a selfless act, which tells me a lot about those kids. Ryan's made great strides. Right now we're starting him, and he's doing a really good job. But, some of the new kids, we got Dusty Baker, who's a sophomore for us out of junior college, and he's an older sophomore. He served his mission, and he gives us a high skill level, a great understanding of how to play the game. But he also gives us maturity and poise out there, which I really like. He's a calming influence on our team, and he never gets rattled. But he can also shoot the ball really well. He brings a lot to our team. McKay Cannon is a true freshman out of Shelley, Idaho, 6-foot point guard. But he also served his mission, so he's got a little maturity too. He's 21 years old, and plays a lot older than a true freshman. And he's going to play a lot of basketball for us. I love the kid. He's tough. He's competitive. He's a team-first guy, and he's a true point guard that really knows how to be a point. And so he's going to give us, obviously, some very quality minutes this year. And then we got Zach Braxton, who redshirted in our program last year, and the redshirt did wonders for him. He changed his body. He's lost 20 pounds. He's got his body fat down, got much more skilled. And Zach's got a very, very bright future in our program. And, we're starting him right now, and he's big, he's tough, he's competitive. So all the things that we look for. Kiko Stavrev is a true freshman out of Bulgaria. Also another true freshman that has some maturity about him, though, because he played a lot of international basketball, has some experience playing, and doesn't act like a true freshman. He's an older, like I say, more mature kid. But he's highly skilled, shoot the three, knows how to play, can handle it, can pass it. Really a tough kid that's really competitive, and he's a terrific defensive player. So, it's a good mix of guys. We've got some veterans, we've got some newer guys, and, we just need to go out and get some experience now.
Last question I'll ask you about upcoming schedule. A lot of big games this year. Utah State on the schedule, BYU, of course, a tournament in Florida. Talk to us a little bit about putting a schedule together. It's certainly not an easy thing, especially for a program like Weber State.
It's hard. It's getting harder every year, too. It's harder to get home games. And, we've been fortunate. We've had a little success. And when that happens, then you just can't get teams that want to come here and play. And so we're always going to play a difficult schedule. I want to play the toughest schedule I can put together every year. And this year is no different. But so we have to go out and play. We have to go find tournaments where we can play people. And, we're really thankful that Utah State and BYU continue to play us. And those are great games for us. We love those in-state games. But now you look at, now we've got to go. We're going to that tournament, which is some of the top mid-major teams in the country are going to be there. Great tournament for us. We're playing South Dakota State at their place and here. It's funny, I talked to their coach, and he can't get home games either because they've been very good. And so we have the same problem. So we decided to play each other, and that won't be easy. They're picked to win their league, and they're very good. Portland is a very good program and a good basketball team. We play Utah Valley on their court this year. And so it's going to be a very difficult but fun, challenging schedule. And what we try to do is put together a schedule that will enable us to improve, hopefully find some success along the way, but more importantly, improve that when we get into conference season, we're ready to go.
So as you begin another season, what are the emotions like every time you start a year right before it begins?
It's really like an early Christmas. We get so excited, and you can't sleep very well, and you're excited for your team. We want to see what we look like. The players are excited. It's the same thing. You know, they've been practicing against each other for so long now. They're tired of beating on each other. We know our plays. We cheat our plays. And now you get to find out, you know, exactly what your team is made of. And it's always going to be a process. You know, you've got to play some quality opponents to become exposed so that you can get better and correct those areas that you're exposed in, and then we can start building. And you know, Friday night will be the first step in that because we're obviously playing a really good basketball team. But it's fun. It's fun. It's exciting. I don't sleep very well, but it's more excitement than nerves, and we just can't wait to get going.
Well, that's exciting. The season begins Friday night at 7 o'clock at the D Event Center against Utah State. Coach, thanks for joining us. Best of luck throughout this season, and thanks for a great program that you've built here at Weber State.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again for joining us on today's Call of the Wild. For more information, follow Weber State on WeberStateSports.com and on social media, and go Wildcats.